But first, happening today, after a year and a half of drafts, all kinds of revisions, Denver's police chief is set to release some new details on a new approach to the use of force.
The department has been under fire for the last several years for the actions of its officers. Denver 7's Megan Lopez joins us. And Megan, the policy gives both officers and the community a better idea of how various situations should be handled.
That's right, Molly. And the policy talks about the types of tools that police officers will have at their disposal. It talks about when and even how those tools should be used. And it says very clearly that officers should only use them when they're absolutely necessary. So here's the policy and what it's talking about when it says what is and is not appropriate for use of lethal force. Police officers cannot use it as a warning solely to arrest someone, as a means of punishment or retaliation, or to prevent an escape. They cannot use it on someone who's only posing a danger for themselves as well. Officers also cannot use it to try to protect property or on a moving vehicle. And they can't use it if there's a danger to a bystander that they might get hurt. Instead, the policy says officers must, quote, only use the amount of force reasonable and necessary under the totality of the circumstances. And that term, the totality of the circumstances, that's important because it asks officers to consider a lot of factors in a very short time span. Things like why a person might not be following the orders and what type of danger they realistically pose. Denver police hope to have all of their officers trained on this new policy by January. I'm live in the studio. Megan Lopez, Denver 7.
All right, let's recap a bit here about the history of how we got to this point in the process. Back in January of last year, Denver Police Chief then Robert White released his use of force policy. And later that month, an independent monitor found significant deficiencies, as they put it, in that plan.
So the chief made revisions and presented them to Denver City Council in February of 2017. The community was not happy, though. So from April to October, a community group met to create its own plan. In November, that plan was presented to the chief.